Hi everyone, welcome back to another yoga video. Today we are going to be doing some bedtime yoga. So this is geared towards helping us rest, helping us relax before bed. So whenever you are ready, grab your mat and let's get started. Let's get started by finding ourselves in a seated position, and we are going to start with some shoulder rolls, rolling them forward and then rolling them backwards, just making sure that we are taking the same amount forward as we do back so that it stays balanced. But this is going to help us to release some of that tension we may be holding in our shoulders. This is also when we are going to go ahead and start breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. If you are ready, let's go ahead and start to take some neck circles, going to the right and then to the left, making sure to take the same amount of circles going in both directions, again keeping it balanced, allowing ourselves to release some of that tension in the neck. Let's start to find a good stopping point, and we will start to move into our side stretches. Here we are still seated, and we are going to rest our hands by our side, bring our left fingertips to the mat, sweep that right hand up, bending over to the left side. In this posture, we are going to try our best to keep our back straight and really try not to twist the spine. Maybe here you go ahead and check in with your body and make sure that we are really listening to it. We are finding where these poses work best for us, not pushing ourselves into anything that is painful or uncomfortable. Now let's start to bring that side stretch over to the opposite side. Hands by our side, right fingertips on the mat, sweeping that left hand up, bending over to the right side. Again, trying our best not to twist the spine and keep the back straight. Let's start to come out of this pose and just take a couple of breaths here to get ourselves ready for butterfly pose. For butterfly pose, we are going to bring the soles of our feet together, grounding through our sitting bones, lengthening our spine, keeping the chest open, and feel free to rest your hands on your feet or just hold the outsides of your feet. In this pose, we can bring our feet further away from the pelvis or closer. Kind of just depends on what is more comfortable for you. There's also an option to place blocks under the knees for added support as well. I love this pose for feeling more grounded, and I find that it is a good time for us to remind ourselves that it is safe for us to relax. We are worthy of rest. We're going to release any troubling thoughts, and we are ready to recharge. So as we are continuing taking those inhales and exhales, let's just think about releasing the things that we don't want to hold on to and really letting ourselves embrace relaxation and rest, allowing our mind and our body to relax. When you are ready, let's go ahead and release butterfly by bringing our legs inward. From there, let's slowly bring ourselves onto our back. We are going to counter our butterfly pose with knees to chest pose. This pose is super helpful in relieving some of that tension that we sometimes carry in our low back and our hips. When you are ready, let's go ahead and transition into our next pose. So let's bring the legs back to the mat. We're going to come into our supine twist. Let's start by extending both legs out where we're kind of just laying flat on the mat. And I'm going to start with my left side. So bending that left knee in, then using our right hand to bring that leg over to our right side. We're twisting the spine and the low back, and we're going to leave that left hand extended beside us, and that's where we're going to take our gaze. For this pose, we want to try our best to keep the shoulders flat on the mat and allow ourselves to relax into this posture, letting gravity do a lot of the work. So that right hand isn't really pushing that leg down, it's more so just resting there as gravity pulls us in to that twist. Let's start to release this side and bring that supine twist onto the other side. So let's bring both legs back to being flat on the mat together. And this time we're going to start by bending the right knee. Then we are going to use our left hand to bring that right leg over to the left side of our body, twisting the spine and the low back, and trying our best to keep both shoulders flat on the mat. On this side, it's going to be our right hand that is extended beside us, and that is where we can take our gaze. Feel free to close your eyes and take your breaths deeper as we allow ourselves to relax further into this twist. When you are ready, let's go ahead and release this twist, and we are just going to take a couple of big breaths before coming into our next pose. For our next pose, we are going to come into a bridge. For bridge, let's have our arms out to our sides, our legs about hip distance apart. And we're going to bend the knees, and then pressing into our feet and shoulders, we will lift our pelvis towards the sky. For more support, you can bring your hands to the low back, or feel free to place a block under as well. But we are going to only hold this for a couple more breaths now. On our last exhale, let's go ahead and slowly bring ourselves back down to the mat. Then, when you are ready, let's go ahead and move into knees to chest pose again. Maybe this time bringing it in for a bit of a hug here. Since this is our second time taking knees to chest pose, I invite you to maybe add in some movement this time. We can rock side to side, and this can help massage those muscles in the back. If you are ready, let's go ahead and release this pose, and let's take one big clearing breath together before we move on. Breathing in through the nose, holding it, and then exhaling through the mouth. Now we are ready for the last pose, which is legs up the wall. I encourage you to take this pose up against the wall or using some sort of prop for support, but it is not necessary. So first we are laying flat on our back. We have our arms out to our sides, almost in a T position, and we are raising the legs. And if you are using something for support, like the wall, you want to try to be as close to it as you can, and then you can rest your legs against whatever you are using. In this pose, we are just focusing on relaxing. So maybe you close your eyes, maybe you take your breaths deeper, letting each breath take you further and further into relaxation. When you are ready, let's go ahead and come back into knees to chest. And from here, we are going to release our legs up the wall pose by rocking forward and coming into a seated position. Once we are up and ready, let's find a comfortable seated position to take 10 more breaths before closing out this flow together. Chest open, spine straight. We're just taking in those inhales through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, reminding ourselves that it is safe to relax and that we are worthy of rest. Last breath here. Let's go ahead and stretch our hands to the sky, bringing our hands together and then bringing them to our head. I choose kind thoughts. Hand to mouth. I choose kind words. Hand to heart. I choose to always be myself. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in today's yoga. I hope this has you feeling more relaxed. I hope that helps you to get some better rest as well. As always, I'm sending good vibes. And until next time, bye.